So this is one of my hypotheses on rotation, right? So feel how I can hardly rotate the finger, right? So right now, there's a little bit more in the ring finger and the pinky, right? Versus the middle finger.
Yeah.
Okay? So with that, pretty much guaranteed, taking you over midline is going to be difficult. So if I take your arm, so see how you get real stuck there,
Yeah.
okay? You okay?
Uh-huh. Yeah, and he's okay.
Okay. So here it's a little bit better. So I'm just there. It's much better here, here. So just feel the difference.
Yeah.
See?
Uh-huh.
So this is really true with infants. If you can't just do this little rotation on the fingers, they just aren't crossing midline. So now I'm just going to engage it. I'm going to stay with the side that's more successful at the moment. So all I'm working on is the rotation. Now here you can see where the elbow, there's glitches, just because again, you're getting pretty pregnant. And I don't mean to say the pregnancy is causing glitches, but again, it's just your proportions are changing so fast, your body hasn't played with it enough. So I'm just, again, my whole concentration with this kind of lesson is just the rotation.
I usually sleep on my right side. Do you think it's why, like my muscles are tight or?
Oh, but it's just life right now. This could have been from before you were pregnant, and it's just being
worse.
exacerbated because could be the way you pick up the kids more so, more on your right side. There you go, see now the shoulders. So right there, I've got the elbow. Now see how you can still sit down and I extend the arm, right? Just to show you this side. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
I can't see your back, you can really feel the scapula. But here, look at how nice. See how you cross midline. That, even though you're totally pregnant and a cognitive adult, that to me is just a precursor to autism. If you saw that in a baby and they can't do it, and ADD too. What it is, ADD, a lot of that can't cross the midline. So what they have to do actually, I know they're here, and I should be able to just look over and reach. But what the ADD kid has to do is, Arlie's here, boom, and they have to turn their bodies. Because just that crossing midline is too complex.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
I wonder how many of the kids that we label ADD, like, would send them all for movement lesson, be like, no, but you just don't know.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
first of all, I've just written up about 8 lessons like brain gym, but this way. And so I'd love to try them out. But B, yeah, I did. What do you think of that? Good? See how her vision is almost as her age. Good 4 feet.
Yeah.
But my eyes still are better than my hand. What? Nobody can make more faces and sound than I do. Well, maybe you. That's why I'm trying to develop a whole movement assessment at any age. I'm going to start off with the babies, but come on, you can be a teacher. You can go like this and say, oh, Johnny, let me check your rotation through your hand. Oh, okay, this needs to be worked on. Either then it's prescribed, or suggested and sent out, but God, I think I could, but if you
Or like
catch
your
this on
son,
infants,
too.
but if you catch this on a baby, so here, I'll do,
Or like
Real
Grim
quick.
was bringing things into his class. If they're, teachers just doing things with their students.
right. So just doing this with Arlie. And I'll just do one hand, right? I know. See, look at how she can rotate. Even though she's grabbing me, See how nice that rotation is?
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned. That rotation of the hand, that means she'll be able to do this, this, this. If you're not picking it up and her pinky's now at 4 months, Houston, we have a warning sign. Or I'll show you that with here. So this is what I was talking about, the Feldenkrais stuff. So if I'm lying here and I want to get up, but if I have my hand like this, for me to get up, I really have to use a lot of muscles, bring my knees up. I have to get creative and somehow push up because I haven't changed the rotation of my hand. But if my hand rotates, you know what I mean? Then my pelvis can rotate. So then I can go up. But if I stiffen my hand,
Yeah.
see, I can't counterbalance. I can't get past this point. So that's where, or if you see kids like this, same thing. See how my head comes down too?
Mm-hmm.
And that's, again, that's developmental delays in infants, but
Which is what she does when she's really agitated. When she's really mad, she goes like this, she tries to roll and she just gets stuck and then she gets
well,
back.
that's where people have suggested, I don't talk as much, like that's not gonna happen, and be, like lessons should be silent. If you come in here and you're really upset with your husband, I wanna give you a lesson then, because you're gonna learn, I can be mad and still move. She's still learning, I'm pissed off and now I can't move anymore. And even not to label them ADD or whatever, but they're gonna be less coordinated.
Yeah.
Things are just gonna be more difficult. Also, if this finger doesn't rotate, how do you look up at the board and come back again and still write? If your hands can't rotate, how do you look at the board and come back? Right? And that's autism, that's ADD. But again, to catch it in little Arlies, see it's still heavy, the arm, so I backed it off. I went back on the chair. So what I can do is come here. Again, what I did with Arlie, just bringing the elbow over. That's much better.
Well, thank you for sharing your lunch with me and the table.
Oh, that was a good game. But see, your scapula's not locked up
Yeah.
anymore. But see now, see how much lighter you're getting?
Oh yeah.
And also, with that, look at how much control I have over your body. You're light, you're this, you weigh like 3 ounces in my hands.
Yeah.
If I didn't rotate, look at the difference. If I didn't rotate, look at the difference. Then you're not rotating. But even just to bring you forward to me, if I rotate,
Yeah.
and then this is what I'll do with the kids. You know, this is a punch. I give them contact. I do this kind of stuff so they can learn the proportions that way or play with the ball. But you don't see me doing this kind of stuff. Because again, feel the difference? Even though I'm rotating, it's still a restriction versus here in your wrist to do it. Feel the freedom? Because
Yeah.
your fingers can be freer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's why you don't see me a lot of times always.
But I mean, yeah.
Or what people do is, so fist your hand, right? I'll do this kind of thing to allow you to work with it, but you don't see me doing, like fist the hand and let me pull out the fingers, right? Just keep it fisted, but see how I'm trying to, see how,
Yeah.
look at how unprotected you are versus even just fisted like this.
And,
See how much more you can do,
yeah.
and eventually
And I feel more secure.
Right.
Yeah.
But if, so try and fist it and let me do all of this. So keep it contracted, right?
Okay.
Feel the difference? See how your counterbalance is totally off in the pelvis, even with an unfisted hand, even though some PT might say, but this is correct.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pick on PT sweet spot. So now it relaxed the hand. So hopefully your brain will learn to start relaxing the hand out and moving. And that's much more beneficial to the person I'm working on.
So it's why you have to tell Aaron to be relaxed, because when I was like that, and then you start working on.
What I did with Aaron, I kept going back to the pelvis, back to the pelvis, back to the pelvis. Because, are you familiar with a narrow gauge railroad versus a regular railroad? So a narrow gauge railroad is like this wide, right, the tracks? So it's very top heavy. So when you're on a narrow gauge railroad, you're just, so you're getting much wider, right? But you're also more stable, right? Because your pelvis is widening out. So a normal railroader out here, it's a much smoother ride because it's not top heavy. So when kids have special needs, they have a very restricted pelvis in many cases, like CP or stuff, it's very narrow in the pelvis to begin with. And so they're very startling. They're because they don't have the same. I always go back to that vestibular. You'll see me, I mean, gosh, I've been doing it for him for a year, but I always go back to, because if the pelvis, if I can get in here with your pelvis, now look at the difference. Right? Now look at the difference.
Okay.
So here, feel this way,
Yeah.
and now feel this way. See how much more stability you have? So. So now I'm going to do something a little bit brazen. Do you want to come up and stand? Walk around first and just feel that. I'm doing that more with you now because you're pregnant, because I want you to integrate it faster, because literally by tomorrow you're going to be changing.
Yeah.